Hello, and welcome to a Star Citizen video where I'm going to try to answer your question of, should you buy Star Citizen? What is it? Is it playable? And how do I even go about buying it and getting into the game? These are all questions I see on the daily from players interested, from Spectrum posts to Reddit posts to just posts anywhere, like on Facebook and whatnot. And the question of, what is this game? Starfield has piqued the curiosity of a lot of people, and it's understandable. As you can see here on the main web page, you're looking at this going, wow, that's crazy. There's no way, right? Well, no, that's all in game right there, what you're seeing. I'm going to go over this with you. You don't need a NASA computer to play this game either. It's really not needed. Like, I personally run a 3070 with an i7 11700, 32 gigabyte of RAM with an NVMe SSD. You don't need that powerful of a machine. You don't need a $4,000 computer, right? I'm getting 50, 60, 70 plus FPS depending on where I'm at. Obviously, the game is currently still in the alpha stage, so they haven't begun, working on making it run better and taking care of that aspect yet. Right now, it's all about adding features, adding the ships, the gameplay, all that's being added. Once they get out of alpha and move towards beta, where they're actually going to start really working on how everything operates on a machine, right? It'll definitely get better. Not like, they still do right now, but it's not nearly the focus, right? Optimization is definitely not the focus in alpha at the current point. While they do try to optimize it to the point where it's still somewhat playable, it's not their primary focus, right? So you ask yourself, well, why would I want to play this game? What can you even do? And really, it's not like a lot of other games. It's not a specific path you have to take, right? You can do whatever you want. And that's the biggest, problem people have when they get into this type of game, or into this game in particular, because there's not really any other games like this. You spawn in a hab, right? And your hab is your room with your bed, which is like a hotel room. And you get up and you go, okay, what do I do now, right? Because you're so used to a story-driven content where you get up and it literally walks you through what you need to do. It tells you what you need to do. It, go here, go there, go, over here, do this, do that. Grab this mission, grab that mission. Oh, don't forget the guy with the exclamation point over his head. Grab that mission. It's not like that. It really isn't. It's kind of like waking up in real life, right? You don't wake up and have someone narrate to you what you need to do. Except for your inner conscience, right? This game is more or less you get out of bed and you decide you want to do whatever the heck you want to do. You want to go out there and deliver a box, worth 4,000 credits from one point to another, you can. You want to go out there and mine some, let me go to the pledge store. You want to go out there with a ship that you purchased in-game, because I'm going to tell you right now, outside of your package ships, so let's start with the game packages. So when you're on the main webpage store, if you hit pledge store at the top, it's going to take you to this view, right? From here, you're like, okay, what do I do? I don't know what to do. Oh, right here's, okay, game packages, right? Okay, I'm going to click on view all game packages, and I'm going to start from here. This is all you need, is just one of these to get into the game and have a starting ship. You do not need to spend thousands of dollars to play this game. You only need the $40 here, $51, $72. These are discounted prices right now too, due to the holiday season. And these are all great ships, and you can watch YouTube videos all around on which ship looks best to you. But you don't need to spend a lot of money. Once you buy a starter package here at $40.50, you can buy the rest of the ships, 99% of the ships, in-game with credits. And it's really not that difficult to get credits at this current point in the alpha. So you can even go on to the game chat and be like, man, I really don't have any credits. And I'm sure somebody's going to send you a boatload, just because credits aren't really a hard thing to come by. So you don't have to worry about the cost and being like, oh man, Star Citizen is way too expensive, right? This is cheaper than a AAA game, yet the quality is personally so much better because it's not a repeat after repeat after repeat, which most AAA games nowadays really are. But I'm not going to hit on that. But yeah, you get out of bed and you go, what do I do? Man, well, you can do anything. Go get your ship, fly around, go explore, see what a game is like without a single loading screen. You get to get in your ship, you get to launch from your hangar, you get to fly off your planet, you get to go to a moon, go to another moon, go to an outpost, go to another planet with a city on it, go wherever you like within the galaxy that's already there, the Stanton area, and make up your own quest, make up your own fun, right? You can go do box deliveries, you can do bounties, you can do mining. That's another thing I want to show you. I want to go here to standalone ships. So if you decide, man, I really love this game, I want to support this project, right? Which a lot of us have done that. I'm not ashamed that I've spent some money on this game. But if you go here and you decide you want to support the game more, and you want a ship to be permanently a part of your hangar and you don't have to spend the credits or the time grinding for it, you can come on here and support more. You can spend as much money as you want on this game if you're financially in that position, right? Which of course it's never a forced thing. You're not forced to do any of this. But you can get the Prospector in game, which this is a mining ship, your beginning mining ship. It's awesome. It's a solo ship. There's only one pilot seat. There's no co-pilot. It mines rocks, and you can make that your profession, right? Go out there and mine rocks on a moon, on a planet. You can mine rocks in space. And it fills up in these ore bags, and you can go and refine it, and it's really cool. And that's going to be expanded upon too with in-game refinery ships. You don't have to spend that $155 price tag, right? You can earn this all in game. There's guides online. There's all sorts of stuff that shows you where to get it, how much it costs, the best way to earn the money for it. And that goes with any of these ships. Right here's the Vulture, which is a salvage vessel. And I've done a couple videos on this one too, which you go around and you salvage other ships that are wrecked, ships that are sitting around and in a lawless area. You can crack open and disintegrate and make money off of doing that. Or you can just grab a Mantis or a Cutlass Black and go pirate. You could see somebody out there in a freelancer, let's say a freelancer Max right here, and they're carrying a ton of cargo, and you want to be like, you know what, I'm not going to play the lawful life. I'm going to go after people. I'm going to take their cargo. You can do that. You can take a Mantis or a Cutlass, the Cutlass Blue, which has like a quantum dampener, which prevents people from jumping. And you could disable their ship by shooting at them and causing their ship to go into a soft death state. You can board it and take their cargo. You can even explode their ship and take some of the cargo. You're not going to get 100% of what was on there if you do that, but yeah. You can also, I personally, this is my opinion here, I personally don't suggest spending money on ground vehicles. They are cool, and I love supporting the developers, but the ground vehicles are so cheap in game. Spending, $100 on a ground vehicle when you can get it in game for 300,000 credits, which is easy to get, 300,000 credits. And with their wipes being less and less, taking the ships away from you every wipe, then you don't really have to worry about it. So personally, I don't spend the money on ground vehicles. I will sometimes move around some things to just try them, but yeah. But when it comes down to the professions, there's just so much you can do. You got salvage, you got mining, you got bounty hunting. You can just do deliveries all day long, and a lot of these things are going to be expanded upon, so that's really cool. So that's the big question, right? Like, what do I do? You know, and that hopefully answers some of that. You know, you make it your own universe. And if you're like, man, I hate doing this all alone, you can definitely go to community organizations, and you can definitely join an organization that makes their own fun. You know, you got ones that are lawless, ones that follow the law, ones that are hardcore. Like, you get in there and it's like a regime of daily boot camps and stuff. It depends on how hardcore you want to get in the game and how much you want to role play. And that's another amazing thing you can do. So you don't have to technically play the game alone. There's just so much. It's difficult because you look at a game like Starfield, right? And you enter the game, and even with all of its faults, you go, wow, it has a lot of content, right? But in the end, it's got content, but it's more or less forced, right? You can't just, in a way, it's forced, right? You got to do the missions. You don't have to, I guess, on like the side questing. You don't have to do any of the side questing, but you're forced to a main mission. And technically, you don't even have to do the main mission, really, but it doesn't advance you down the line, right? Like, you can't get to New Game Plus without being forced down a linear path in a open world. This game, there is no linear path. You do have a rep system with all the missions and things you can do, so you can gain reputation that allows different missions to be accessible, like defending certain areas and attacking certain capital ships and stuff like that. But it's not like you're forced to any of it. You can do whatever you want. You know, that's the lovely part of Star Citizen, is making your own character, getting your time away from real life, right? Just like some people like picking up a book and getting so involved into that book that they are just taken away, right? Well, this is that. This is that game. You sit down, you get into it, and you make it basically like your second life in a way, right? Depending on how much time you can really put in. Even if you only put in half an hour a night, which is pretty much all I get. I put in an hour or two a night at most, depending on when the kid goes to sleep. But it helps, take away from the daily. Make sure, if you decide, hey, you know what, I'm going to give this game a spin, you got to know you can get a refund within 30 days if you feel like it's really just not for you, right? You get into the game, you play, oh man, this sucks. I like the linear path more. I don't like being so free to do whatever because it just feels boring to me. That I'm just I want my money back. Well, you can definitely request it through support within 30 days to get that pledge refunded. Make sure, though, before you make your RSI account that you add a referral code. Now, you could use mine. That's completely up to you. Or you can go refer me like this and use somebody else's. It's just a random referral code. It's completely up to you and how you want to go about that. But that helps you because it gives you some in-game starting credits, and as well as in-game starting credits, it potentially, like right now, if you were to make an account, you would get a referral bonus, which is a bunch of cool looking armor, a gun, all sorts of different neat stuff. Like, I'll click on this post really quick, and you get a lot of neat things that would really help out. Nice backpack, cool looking armor, tractor beams, pistols, knife, nice machine gun. You get a lot of stuff, and this is permanently bound to your account, by the way. So you're never, no matter if your account gets wiped, or not your account, but if the game gets wiped or whatnot, you're always going to have it, which is amazing. So every time you start up that game, you're going to have it. Do know in Star Citizen, though, if you wear this stuff and you bring this stuff out and you die, you do lose that gear per se. You can still go back out there and retrieve your gear. You can go back out there and find your body, and there's typically a marker that shows you where it's at, and you can get that stuff back if somebody else hasn't looted your corpse. So you can get that stuff back. But at that point, if you do lose your body, you will lose your gear until the next wipe or until you do a character reset. They are adding newer features here soon that will alleviate that, because nobody likes losing the stuff that's permanently bound to their hanger. And so you'll be able to claim that stuff soon enough, just like you would claim a ship if it explodes. And that's my last point I'm going to go over before I end this video is, okay, I want to play. I've made my account. I've used a referral code. I'm going to the pledge store. I'm picking out a game package, and it has to be a game package, by the way, because this is your access to the game. You can't just go to extras, standalone, and buy a standalone. You need a game package. So you bought your game package, you've gotten into game, you've left your hab, you've gotten your ship, you've flown out of the hangar, but let's say you didn't realize that the moons surrounding your planet have less gravity, so you crashed right into it full speed and you exploded. You can claim your ship. You just go to the same terminal that you went to grab your ship, and there you go. You hit claim and you'll get your ship back. If it's permanently bound to your account, you'll never lose this ship, at least during the alpha beta stage. I personally don't think you'll ever lose it ever. It has insurances on it, so like these typically come with like a 6-month insurance, or this one's a 24-month insurance because it's the holiday starter pack. What that means is that you'll get 24 months of insurance on the vehicle to where you don't have to pay to claim it. And then after those 24 months, you would have to just extend that insurance out to prevent yourself from having to pay on that insurance to get your vehicle back. So yeah, you can really deep dive into a lot of this stuff if you get really heavily invested into this game. But it's pretty straightforward. Once you really kind of sit down and, get an idea of what you're looking at, it's pretty straightforward. Hopefully this helped you decide whether or not if you want to invest your time or money into this project. I know, it's, it feels like a jump into the dark, right? Because for the last, I don't know how many years, 10, 12 years, it's just constantly, this game's a scam, this game's not a scam, this game's a scam, this game's not a scam. Well, from my personal experience from playing it before, playing it when the initial hangar module was released, and it was just, the shiny silver freelancer and, the Aurora. It's never truly felt like a scam to me, because it's gone from stage 1 to now we're at stage 60. And if you actually get in game and see just how far they've gone, it's super impressive. No loading screens and a huge universe that's going to be expanding soon with the release of Pyro and other galaxies out there, which is going to be super impressive, by the way. It's a phenomenal project. It really is, and I've had a ton of fun, a lot of memories in this game, and I think if you really just invest even a little bit of a time into this game, you're going to have the same thing. You can really do whatever you want. Let me know if you are, new or looking to join the Star Citizen verse, if you've watched this video, and let me know what you think. What's your hesitation? I know the biggest hesitation for most people is just like what I was just going over is this ever going to release? Personally, I hope it doesn't. Because if it never releases per se, like I hope it gets through the alpha stage and the beta stage, but never hits a full 1.0 release, because that tells me it's always going to be something new, or, you know what I mean? Typically when games release, some games get updated continuously, right? But I just hate the thought that this game would stop at some point, because it's such an ever expanding universe, and I hope it stays that way forever. But I hope they obviously optimize it and get all the features fleshed out and, in and everything. But yeah, I hope, let me know what you think of joining the verse. Hopefully you do, make sure you use a referral code. And welcome to Star Citizen, where you are not bound by anyone's rules except for the rules of the verse itself. Do what you want. Play the game how you want. Don't grief people. And have fun. See you out there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.